Welcome, YouTubers! This is back at the good old action of College Hoops 2K8 in Open Legacy mode. We're going to take a look at what happened since that last post about possible three teams in battle injury. Well, two of the three teams came out of it just fine, but Arkansas did not do so hot. In fact, it was pretty awful, and it was pretty embarrassing to the program as a whole. We're going to go to the polls real quick. Media poll. As you can see, Nebraska, Omaha, and Anchorage, they did their part to get their stuff on the ball. And Arkansas was hoping that they could just somehow play through the injuries, and hopefully by season's end, going into the conference tournament, that they would somehow get in a sneak bid and snub one of those bubble teams and bust one of their bubbles and possibly get one of the lower seeds and be hopefully a Cinderella story. But we're going to find out by looking at what the record and what happened in the tournament, just for that matter, what happened. We're going to look at the mid-major poll. Now we're going to take a look at. We're going to go look real quick. Here we go. The NCAA. There we go. Anchorage led the whole nation in all the teams in the nation with the number of wins, followed by Omaha, and then thirdly Georgetown. Okay, we're going to take a look at these conferences. We're going to kind of scroll through these relatively fast. If you want to go to possibly get through these a little faster, or you want to look at these a little bit closer, just feel free to pause and then move on. Now, it's kind of surprising how Georgetown in this conference has a higher bid than Minnesota, even though they're third in the standings. This is something to look at. But the RPI of this conference is number 2. This was another conference that was had conference realignments. Conference USA, it showed with all these teams with Kansas, Connecticut, St. Mary's, Texas, Memphis, Gonzaga, UCLA. That Kansas is the top dog of this conference and of this group of big boys. And they led the conference with a 14-2 mark, which is very impressive against all these big name programs. And another surprise here with Louisville and Anchorage, not both just having the winning seasons, but having ranked as an independent. And this RPI rank for this independent group is higher than some of the other conferences, which is very surprising. Okay, here we are in the SEC. Arkansas finished 10th of 12th place as possible. They finished with a 5-11 mark. They tried to get something wrong late in the season just to somehow see if they know how to win. Finish the season. We'll find out what happened. They were 9-14, but they had lost in their first game. But we'll see. We'll look at their schedule a little bit more carefully in just a few moments. But we'll look at the Southeastern Conference. With all these teams, Tennessee, LSU, North Carolina, Kentucky, Duke. Tennessee was the big winner somehow. They somehow won with a 13-3 mark. Alright, so that takes care of that for the conference standings. Here we are. They had to play Alabama in the first game. The first game of their prospective conference tournament. They couldn't even win against Alabama. Fell short. Maybe next season. But there's also talks with the Arkansas coach that next season will be a definite rebuilding season because there are a lot of senior leadership somehow on this team. Well, where was it? We're going to look at their schedule a little bit. There were some close games, others were not so close. Here's a close. That was a close game. I thought Arkansas really did try in that game. Excuse me. I have an allergy this morning. So let's see what becomes of this. We'll look at that SEC tournament. And of course, it's going to be North Carolina, Tennessee. That doesn't surprise me too much. What's surprising right here is that LSU got upset by Alabama. I guess they were trying to make a Cinderella story, but it didn't quite work with because it looked like North Carolina had a buzzer beater against Alabama with a 47-46 win. Anyway, let's get back to the calendar here. And here we are. Let's see who makes what field of 64, because this is not where they couldn't defend to the field 68 quite at this time in this video game.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Greg Rumble here with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seeding and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. The tournament committee hands out the remaining 34 bids on an at-large basis. An opening round game will take place on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams.
And keep in mind that NFS will be considered at-larges.
Shakeups as we get ready for March Madness. The Pittsburgh Panthers fell all the way from the number 14 spot to number 19. That's not the direction you want to be going at this time of year, but they're a strong enough team that I believe they can turn it around. Also, a new team has made the leap into the top 25. The Indiana Hoosiers are back in the poll as the number 25 team. Now let's take a look at the NCAA tournament bubble and see which teams are sitting at home with their fingers crossed, hoping to see their name in the brackets. There are a lot of worthy candidates among these 10 teams, Clark. Which of these bubble teams stands out to you right now?
Columbia racked up the wins this year. They are involved in an uphill battle due to their small conference. It'll be interesting to see how the committee views that.
You got that right. And who else might be in the same position?
Georgia Tech could have sealed their invitation with a better regular season finish. But the fact is they play in a very tough conference, and that does weigh heavily in their favor.
I'm sure it's been a long week for those teams, but the wait's almost over. The NCAA Selection Committee has finished its meeting, and we're ready to unveil the top 4 seeds in this year's tournament. The away team are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Region. They begin the tournament as the dominant team in college basketball. They've been ranked number 1 in the media poll for the past 7 weeks. Let's see if they can live up to everyone's expectation. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Region. The Michigan State Spartans are seeking their 3rd NCAA championship in school history. The Kansas Jayhawks are our 3rd number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our fourth number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Tennessee Volunteers are in the tournament field as a number 1
Looks like Anchorage didn't get number 1 seed. He was 26-2 record. That's something else.
Bracket shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the East Regional will play the winner of the South Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Midwest Regional will play the winner of the West Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 5th. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April 7th. Anything shocking to you about those picks?
I don't think I'm alone in my surprise with these picks. Whenever you reach this far down the pole for the top seed, you're guaranteed to have some second guesses coming your way.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. Away team are the top seed, finishing at 26-0. They won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the conference. They will take on the winner of the opening round play-in game between Western Carolina with 11 wins and Loyola Marymount from the West Coast Conference. And now, the number 8 seed, the Virginia Cavaliers, come into the tournament on the strength of a third-place finish in their conference regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Miami Hurricane, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 21-11. Kentucky comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 22-11. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Missouri Valley Conference, the Southern Illinois Saluki, with 18 wins. Texas enters the field as the number 4 seed from Conference USA. This will be their 26th appearance to the NCAA tournament in team history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Stony Brook Seawolves. Finished the season with 21 wins.
The Texas Longhorns are one of those teams that's hard to put a finger on. They've got a terrific squad, but they depend on a lot of young players, and that lack of experience can be a big factor. Sometimes young guys play a lot looser than the veterans, but it's always a tough call. It really could go either way on it.
The Colorado Buffalo are in as the number 6 seed. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed, the Virginia Commonwealth Rams, with 19 wins. Washington comes in as the number 3 seed, finishing at 23-8. Iowa State comes in to face them at number 14 with 16 wins in the tournament championship of the Big 12. Our number 7 seed from the A-10 Conference, the Xavier Musketeers, were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Florida State Seminoles, who were 5th in their conference, finishing at 20-13. Next up is the number 2 seed, the North Carolina Tar Heels, have established themselves as one of the best teams from the SEC. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the Montana Grizzlies, with 18 wins. This will be their 8th appearance all time in the NCAA tournament. What a tremendous regional final we have in this bracket. If the number 1 and 2 seeds here make it through the first 3 rounds unscathed, that could be one of the games of the tournament. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. The Michigan State Spartans are the top seed, finishing at 25-6. They won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the Big Ten. They'll take on the Arkansas State Indians, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 2nd appearance to the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. Texas A&M comes in as the number 8 seed, finishing at 20-11. Rhode Island comes in to face them at number 9 with 23 wins and a chance to prove they're right where they belong among the top 65 teams in the nation. Fresno State enters the field as the number 5 seed from the WAC. This is their 6th appearance all time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed, the Samford Bulldogs. Finished the season with 19 wins.
The Fresno State Bulldogs is a team to consider when you're filling out your bracket. They've been through so much this year. Adversity typically helps a team become a championship team. I wouldn't be surprised to see them put it all together over the next few weeks and become the focal point of this competition.
Duke comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 21-11. They'll take on the 13th seed from the Horizon League, the Phoenix of Wisconsin Green Bay, with 21 wins. And now the number 6 seed, the Indiana Hoosiers, come into the tournament as the 4th place team in their conference during the regular season and were semifinalists in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Seton Hall Pirates, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 21-14. The Stanford Cardinals are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the against the number 10 seed, the St. Joseph's Hawks. With 20 wins, they return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Our number 2 seed is from the independent ranks. The away team were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They're going to play the number 15 seed, the Iona Gale.
That's interesting. Two of those independents almost right next to each other.
15 and 18. There are going to be some incredible matchups in the later rounds of this bracket if the top seeds can avoid the early upsets. We can look forward to some real heavyweight battle. On to our third bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. The Kansas Jayhawks are the top seed, finishing at 23 and 6. They were winners of the regular season championship in Conference USA. They'll take on the Holy Cross Crusaders, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their 13th appearance to the NCAA tournament in team history. Our number 8 seed is from the SEC, the Alabama Crimson Tide, were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Oklahoma Sooners, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 22 and 10. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed, the New Orleans Privateers, with 21 wins. George Mason enters the field as the number 4 seed from the A-10 Conference. This will be their 5th appearance to the NCAA tournament in team history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed. The Horned Frogs of TCU finished the season with 19 wins.
The George Mason Patriots suffered a big upset in their conference tournament, but they've got to leave that behind. Sometimes getting a loss like that out of the way before the NCAA tournament can actually help you. It can relieve some pressure and help the players get their focus back.
Clemson comes in as the number 6 seed, finishing at 21 and 11. And they take on the 11th seed from the Ivy League, the Yale Bulldogs, with 18 wins. And now the number 3 seed, the LSU Tigers, come into the tournament after finishing second in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 17 and 13. Next up is the number 7 seed, the Utah Utes, have established themselves
A lot of SEC team looks like.
the Mountain West Conference. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the South Carolina Gamecocks, with 21 wins. This is their 9th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Memphis comes in as the number 2 seed, finishing at 24 and 9. East Tennessee State comes in to face them at number 15 with 15 wins. The tournament championship of the Atlantic Sun Conference. It's the first question every selection Sunday. Which is the toughest bracket? Well, this bracket looks to me like it wins that prize this year. Not only are the top seeds strong, the lower seeds can be dangerous as well. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. The Tennessee Volunteers are the top seed, finishing at 24 and 9. They've won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the SEC. They'll take on the Southern Jaguars, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 8th appearance to the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. Next up is the number 8 seed, the Oregon Ducks, are the conference tournament champions from the Pac-10. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the Villanova Wildcats, with 19 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Pittsburgh comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 22 and 9. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Northeast Conference, the Wagner Seahawks, with 21 wins. Providence comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 23 and 8. Coastal Carolina comes in to face them at number 13 with 19 wins in the tournament championship of the Big South. Our number 6 seed is from the Pac-10, the Arizona Wildcats, were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the St. Louis Pelicans, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 19 and 14. The Georgetown Hoyas are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the Central Michigan Chippewas, with 18 wins. And now the number 7 seed, the Illinois State Redbirds, come into the tournament after finishing second in their conference during the regular season and finished second in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Fordham Rams, who were 5th in their conference, finishing at 18 and 10. Connecticut enters the field as the number 2 2 seed from Conference USA. This marks their 28th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed, the Florida A&M Rattlers. Finished the season with 16 wins.
The Connecticut Huskies do the one thing that all great teams absolutely must do, and that's play tremendous team defense. These guys have been shutting down opponents all year with a combination of speed, intelligence, and sheer determination. There have been NCAA championship teams of all shapes and sizes, but all of them play good, strong defense.
Some of the lower seeds in this bracket have the ability to not only compete with the high seeds, but win a few games. The potential for a Cinderella or two in this bracket is definitely there. Clark, how do you view this year's top 16?
The LSU Tigers are a surprise to me as a 3 seed. They weren't quite strong enough to warrant that kind of position. They were more suited to get in as a 4 seed. Georgetown is going to join the list of number 3 seeds that we've seen make serious Final Four runs in recent years. They've got the talent to really explode in this tournament.
Now, let's bring the conference picture into focus. The A-10 gets 17. The SEC with 6. 5 out of the ACC. The Big Ten gets 14.
What a down year for the non-power conference. We're used to seeing at least one of those conferences compete on the level of the power conference. But not this year.
It's too bad we didn't see more small conference schools in the tournament. None of those conferences got more than one team in the tourney. I don't expect any David and Goliath stories out of the teams that did get in.
I'm surprised there were so few bids for the teams in the Mountain West Conference. It was an especially disappointing year for that conference. Usually you can count on a few of the nation's elite teams coming out of there. But this was a season where very few of those teams could maintain any type of positive momentum.
Let's come back to the bubble teams that we mentioned earlier in the show and see which of the teams were able to get into the tournament.
Florida State must feel a whole lot better now than they did before the show started. Their ticket is punched, and they're on their way to the dance. But frankly, I'm not sure for just how long they'll be dancing.
While they start prepping for their first round games, 5 teams on the other side of the page will be full-time students again.
Georgia Tech probably thinks their resume is as good as a few of the teams that got an invitation, but they didn't have that preseason tournament championship or that one big win that would have set them apart.
All right, Clark, now that we know all the teams will match up, time to get the tournament underway and let the madness take over.
Greg, it's going to be a fantastic tournament. We've got an outstanding field and a lot of sensational players. I guarantee there are some memorable moments soon to come.
For my partner Clark Kellogg and for all of us here in the 2K Sports Studios, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us on the NCAA Selection Show, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA tournament.